Okay, so I have some sourdough bread here. It's sat overnight, and then I punched it down and kneaded it and let it rise again, and so now I've divided it into two pieces. I'm going to form it into a loaf and bake it. Got the stove here fired up, got a nice hot fire in it. The oven box has been hovering around 400 degrees, and inside I've got a Dutch oven, which I've been letting get nice and hot. And now I'm going to put the loaf into that. I'm going to set you over here. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. Put it in the pan. Let it sizzle a little bit. I did put some oil in the bottom of the Dutch oven. And I'll show you what the fire looks like. There's the fire. It's got some decent pieces on it. I do have the dampers open a little bit. Let some air in there, keep it nice and hot. And I do have this lever here in the back switched all the way over to the left so that it directs the heat around the oven box before it lets it go up the chimney, so that way it keeps the oven hotter. And I also cleaned the ash off my oven box a weekend or so ago, just to make sure that there was no ash insulating the oven box, because I knew to try to keep it, at 400 degrees for a while to bake 2 loaves of bread was going to take a little bit of heat. So we'll see how this turns out. I have another piece of dough if it doesn't turn out, so I'll keep on working on it. Okay, so it's been only about 20 minutes, and actually this is sounding pretty good, and it's got a nice crust on it. I did turn the Dutch oven about 10 or 15 minutes into cooking time, and I also took a spray bottle with a little bit of water in it and spritzed the inside just to give a little bit of steam while it was cooking, just to help this crust develop on there. So let's see here. Okay, and there's our finished loaf of bread. So I took the dough for the second loaf, formed it, and put it in the oven. And I'll do the same thing. We'll see if it takes just 20 minutes again. But otherwise, this is, it raised nice while it was in there, and it's got a nice hard shell. And I think it's going to be a good loaf of bread. So here's what the bread looked like when I cut into it. Sorry about the lighting in here. I only have a couple light bulbs. It turned out really good. It has really good flavor. It's pretty dense, but that's because I use hard white wheat that I grind myself. So it's a little heavier of a flour that I use to make it. And then I took some cream, whipped up a little butter to go with it, and it tastes wonderful. So the bread's all made and the butter, and now I've used the same Dutch oven I baked the bread in and put the ingredients for chicken corn chowder, and now there's nothing left to do except to wait for the soup to cook, and that's a real hard job when you have a wood cook stove.